guys, we finally did it. We finally started our own podcast, and I think that deserves an applaud. Because what do you mean I've started my own podcast? It's something that I've always wanted to do from the beginning because I know I have a gift of yapping. And I was like, why can't I just use the gift of yapping and just start a podcast? Because that's where I can remove every single thing, every single thought of mine, and just put it out there. And that's why we made, because I know I did this thing with you guys, the Ashuza's talk. I think that's Ashuza's talk. That's the name of my podcast. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. Like, in this podcast, I'm gonna be talking about really everything, and that's why I went all in. Got myself a camera, microphone. I forgot the headsets, and that's why I'm borrowing my husband's headsets, but they're working. So yes, I'm gonna be talking about a lot of topics, and a lot of the things are gonna be my opinion, what I think, how I see certain things, and something that can help a lot of people, not only you guys, because if you say that, okay, this is not useful, I'm just thinking this thing is a healing thing for me, for my younger self to look at, because most of the questions that I have, or most of the things that I'm going to talk about, is some things that I always wanted to know and nobody told me about them. That's why I started my own podcast, to just help somebody out there with any single question. And that's why yesterday, like, I asked you guys about topics. What do you guys want me to talk about? What do you guys want me to cover? This and this. And I got a lot of ideas from you guys. You guys are so amazing. And I think that we should just really get started with our first topic. So the first topic of today is basically going to be how to differentiate between love, lust, or just like Christianity, like dating as a Christian. How is dating as a Christian? Should a Christian date? Should they wait till marriage? Should they just... I'm going to be covering all those things. But firstly, I'm going to be having my podcast on Spotify. So if you do not follow me on Spotify, go ahead and follow me on Spotify. And it's going to be uploaded on YouTube as like video clips as this one. But the audio clips are going to be on Spotify. When I got this question, a topic to talk about, and I was like, that's a good thing. Lust, love, Christianity. It's really, really good because it's something that a lot of people debate on, a lot of people talk about, but what's my take on it? Me as a Christian, I went down and broke all these things down into different categories, defining love and lust. And I wrote everything down on my phone so that I do not forget. And for me, what love is from a Christian girl's perspective, I think love is patience, love is peaceful, respect boundaries, grow over time, and leads to clarity. The opposite of that I would say is lust. So lust for me, what I wrote down is rushed, intense but unstable, ignores the red flags, and fades when desire is gone, leads to confusion. I think they're very, very clear as to definitions of love and what lust is. I don't know what you guys think. You should write down what you think in the comment section if I missed something. So how do you know that this guy is for you, he loves you, or he lusts for you? And that thing is really, really clear. If we take down just from our definitions, we're going to see that patience, peaceful, respects boundaries, grows over time, leads to clarity. If you see that a person you're talking to is wanting to rush stuff all the time, just, we want to, no, I want this, instead of taking every single thing slowly, just know that that person is lasting for you. And lust, as I said, it fades away very quickly. So as a Christian, it's very important to know, okay, is this, and that's going to tell you very clear if this is the right partner for me or not. Because many of us girls, we might think that we know what we want, we know how we want to be led, we know how we want to be treated, but we actually don't know how we want to be treated until you actually get treated the right way. You don't know anything until you get it, right? As girls, we're really indecisive. We might think that I want a guy who shows me tough love. I want a guy who's jealous. I want a guy. We want all those things until we get them, and you're like, oh shoot, it's not something I really wanted. So it's really, really important to know the definition of love. Then you can apply it on any single person you're talking to, and then you see if if it makes sense. Something needs to make sense for you to move on, because the Bible tells us, I'm going to read a verse for you guys. It's in the book of First Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7. It says, love is patient, love is kind. So you girlies out there that want to be treated like a maid in a relationship, that's not love. That is really, really not love. I'm sorry. And love is not selfish. If you see a guy is very, very self-centered, just know he doesn't love you. He's just lusting for you. And the reason why, because you might ask yourself, why did he stay all these years? The reason why, since it's lust, he has a specific, as I said, desire. He desires for something from you. Yeah. That thing can be anything. It can be physical, right? It can be how your body is. It can be also your eyes. It can be also mostly sexual stuff. I'm not gonna lie, guys usually lust for such things, Oh, my girl got a big ass, that's why I like her. My girl got big titties, that's why I like her. Many guys tend to lust for women that have those qualities that they want, and then later on they're gonna just use you. As I said, lust, when the desire disappears, then the love disappears. Let's say many women experience this after giving birth. Let's say you are a body before giving birth, yeah? And then you've given birth, because as women, our body changes, Your body is going to change. It's going to pass through a lot of things. But then a guy is going to start commenting on you, being like, you're no longer beautiful. The guy who used to respect you before, he starts looking at you as just trash just because your body has changed. That shows you that it wasn't love, it was lust. Because if a person loves you, they're going to be patient with you. They're going to be understanding. They're not going to be self-centered. They're going to be like, oh, my wife just gave birth. Her body is passing through this. However much I would want her body to go back, let me help her in a wise way, in a smart way. Because trust me, women do not also want to be like that. We don't want to be like that. We don't want our bodies to look like that. We want to go back to our body selves. But it takes time. And that's why I say love is patient. Because if you do not have patience in love, you're not going to settle. The biggest thing that I can say love is patient. You're going to be patient with the person that you love, yeah? You're going to be patient, however much they have weaknesses. You're going to be patient to a point that you're like, yes, my man has weaknesses in giving gifts, but I know slowly by slowly it's going to improve. It's going to... So that's the most beautiful thing about love. Because today you might think that, oh, I know my partner, he's like this, he's not going to change his life. But that's not how he's going to be in the coming 5 years. Many of girls, like the girls out there, they do not even give men time to just change because they settle for the lust. And just because a guy came to you with lust and not love, it does not mean that they can't change. You can still change them if that person was made for you. And that's where a lot of girls do a lot of mistakes and settle. Do not settle with a guy that... So you're just like 50% you're okay with whatever he's doing, and the other 50% you're like, I would want him to change this. If you would want a guy to change a certain thing, a certain behavior, wait. Do not settle. Settle down when he has changed to your liking, yeah? Because you're gonna fall a lot in a lot of bad relationships that are gonna lead you to questioning yourself, doubting yourself. Is this God? Is this love? As a Christian, you should not, and that's the important thing that I would even cover up in my next episode, you shouldn't give a guy your body in order for him to love you. And if a guy comes to you, well, if I do not sleep with you first, I'm not going to love you. Just know that that's lust. That's not love. A guy who's patient with you is going to be like, you're going to be like, babe, I'm going to wait till marriage. And they're going to be like, I'm not in a rush, because they know you're the right person. But a guy whose literally mind is just lasting for you is going to be like, no, but babe, you're already mine anyways. Like, what's the point of waiting? What's the point of us doing this? He's going to make you fall into temptation, literally as a Christian girl, you should first be so firm. You should stand so firm on your belief and know exactly what is right for me to do, what is going to make God happy. Then you take those things and apply it to your man. Because if you date a guy that lusts for you, if you are weak in spirit as a Christian, you're going to also fall. And when you fall, sometimes it's really hard to come back. Many people are lucky enough to come back after them falling. But many people feel like, I'm not worth it. I'm not worth for God. I'm not like this. And the reason why a lot of people be like, when you're dating as a Christian, you shouldn't kiss a guy. You shouldn't hold hands. Many people have that today, but I feel like that's wrong. I feel like if you have self-control, which is love, if you have self-control, you're going to know how to control yourself and your partner, right? Because if let's say you're kissing in public as a Christian and people come, oh my God, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. That's wrong. As a Christian, you shouldn't be kissing until you're married. There are not really any principles on what to do and how to do it. The only thing that the Bible tells us, stay away from sexual immoralities. And if you know that kissing is gonna lead you to fall into the temptation of fornicating or fornication, don't do it. If you know that you have self-control over it, and also you know how to control it, I feel like it is fine. Because the biggest thing in Christianity, or the biggest thing that you can do, is fornicating. Because fornicating is something that's going to lead you far away from God, far away from exactly what you would want, because you don't know what you want, right? But as a Christian, that's why I say love is self-control. If you have self-control, even as a man, if your man has self-control, he's gonna know, okay, here I'm going too much. Also, the thing, if kissing is making you uncomfortable and wanting you to take the next step, then don't do it. Then stop. And that's why I would encourage a lot of people to find out about themselves. If you know that whenever my man comes over and he's wearing a certain shirt, it makes me want to think about him in this way, which is a sin, then you should talk to your person about it. As a Christian, I believe it's very, very important to know yourself first. Then you're going to be able to, help your partner, help another person. But if you do not know yourself, you don't know what you want, and you settle for every single thing that you get in a relationship, I feel like that's really wrong. And I feel like you don't have a room to say anything, really. If, let's say, something goes wrong, it was all the guy's fault. It's your fault as well, because you're not educated enough. You do not know what you're talking about. And that's not something that you should do as a Christian. I feel like as Christians, if we're dating, the relationship should be centered. God should be in the middle of the relationship, because if you have the Holy Spirit in your relationship, let's say you're going to do something wrong, you're going to just feel the instinct. It's just going to be like, no, something is wrong. And that's why I would really encourage, if you're a Christian or you have your religion out there, just try so much to just find out, is this thing pleasing God? And if the answer is no, do not try to look for another pastor or another person that's going to justify whatever you're doing. Sin is sin and wrong is wrong. If the Bible says this is a wrong thing, this is a sin, it is a sin. However much your pastor or any single person will justify it, it's still a sin, If you really want to differentiate between lust, love, just know it's a very, very big difference, but still similar, because lust can still come in a form of love. A person can be overprotective. A person can be, very self-centered in a way that you as a girl, I like it. I like my man like this. I like this. That's not what it's called. You need to be loved the right way as a Christian, A relationship for a Christian needs to be intentional. And what I mean by that is that you need to have intentions. When you're dating, you shouldn't just date for the fun of it, for the sake of it, for the fact that you have another person. You should have intentions. If a guy that you're dating or that you're seeing or meeting does not have any intentions of a relationship, run. Every single guy, their intention should be like, I know I can build you, because I believe as a Christian you should date somebody that builds you. And if a person have good intentions for you, they're gonna build you. They're not gonna break you. They're gonna build you. They're gonna know what exactly you need, because most of the times they usually say two heads are better than one, but it becomes difficult if the other head is not having the same mindset as you, the same intentions as you. Maybe you would want to date till marriage, have kids, but your partner, just dating, just living the moment. Avoid all those men that don't know what they want. All those men that are just doing everything for the sake of doing something. Avoid them, because they're just going to lead you to sin. They're just going to lead you to do something that you do not really want. Another thing that I would really want to touch on is boundaries. Boundaries. A good relationship as a Christian, and a healthy relationship, has boundaries. Because the Bible tells us God did not give us a spirit of fear. Let me bring up that verse. So the verse is in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 verses 7. It says, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. What does that mean? Healthy boundaries. What healthy boundaries are? You avoiding sexual activities, privacy, so being alone, those are like boundaries that are gonna make you have a healthy and good and God-centered relationship, than just a relationship that I don't listen to my parents. I'm not gonna do what they say. My parents are boring. They're not, in the new generation. They're not. That's not how it should be. You should have boundaries as a Christian. If your partner wants to force all those things that does not respect your boundaries, I don't feel like that's the right partner for you. A right partner is going to respect your boundaries. A right partner is going to lead you to the light. It's going to lead you to be like, even if you're the one who's like, the mind is like, your partner is still going to be like, no, babe, that's not what we wanted. Are you having these thoughts? Babe, let's pray about it. Let's ask God for it. Let's ask God for guidance. If you have the guidance of the Holy Spirit and the guidance of God, God is going to help you. Your relationship is going to be so secure. Your relationship is going to be so safe. As a Christian, you should avoid a lot of friends, a lot of family members, a lot of people that give you bad advice when it comes to this. Right now, today's relationships, the thing that I don't like about them is that you can already move in with your loved one. You can already start cooking for a man. Why do you start cooking for a man that didn't wife you? And then tomorrow when they leave you, oh my God, they used me. So you shouldn't do stuff for a partner that does not retaliate what you're doing. If you're taking the partner as a husband when they're not yet a husband, or even insinuating that I'm gonna wife you one day, many girls do a lot of mistakes and try to praise their boyfriends before they even put them in that step of making them wives. So you should never ever settle for a guy that hasn't even have a thought or even an intention of being like, I'm gonna wife you one day. Stay away from them. Do not want a guy that lusts for you. I know it's gonna be boring to be like, but love is boring. I love tough love. I love a guy that's masculine, that's, showing me this. You can have all those things and still have love. A guy that knows how to balance when to be masculine, when to have love, when to be goofy, that's the best guy. But a guy who's always in his masculinity era, or, it's a wrong guy, because he's not going to know how to treat you, because he's always like, I'm the man, I'm the one who's right, I'm the one who's right. It shouldn't be like that. As a Christian, you should yearn for a guy who's going to lead you closer to God, because at the end of the day, your partner is your leader, So do not go for a guy that likes you for a certain thing that you have. Because, okay, what if that thing changes? Our bodies changes constantly. So what if you change? Then what happens? And that's where lust comes in. That's where the desire of whatever they had is gone. They're going to be gone. So you need to have a mindset of like, however much my body has changed, my man is going to still love me. My man is still going to be there for me. That's the mindset that you have. As a Christian girl, you should yawn to date till marriage. It's going to be boring. But marriage is literally the best. And that's gonna lead me to my next topic. That's all I had for you guys in today's episode. Just know love is patient, love is kind, love is, self-controlled, and a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff that you can be like, yeah, But love is not literally another person being self-centered and you're literally being like a slave. It's not. You should leave those relationships ASAP. And if a person does not add anything on you or just pressurize you, like puts you on pressure on doing something, that is not love. Sadly, it's not love. It's just lust. It's lust. And you should avoid lust because it's going to lead you into having bad relationships that you're going to regret in the future. So that's for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be seeing you guys next week on Friday. And I love you guys.